If your parents or your adopted parents or your caregivers or the authority figures make you feel like they hate you, trust me, they don't hate you. They hate themselves. We all live in this cycle of never enough, or this guilt, shame, and resentment that we all carry within us. It's not because we're not good enough. It's not because we're not successful, we're not pretty enough, whatever that may be. Whatever judgments you have about yourself, it's not about that at all. It's ever since we were little, we naturally wanted to receive love and be seen for who we are, but our parents' mind were always very occupied with shame, guilt, stress, resentment, and just fears, wounds that they have been carrying since they were very, very little. And so that's all they were able to see, their shame, their never enough, and that's all they saw in themselves. They were not capable enough to see the greatness that you are. For instance, growing up, my dad had this mentality, just this victim mentality of everyone is always trying to get him, including me. And I mean, as a little kid, I wouldn't have taken that as, oh, that's what he thought. It's now looking back, I'm realizing, oh, wow, that had always been his mentality. Like little tiny things that I did that to me, I was just being playful, but to him, I was offending him. For instance, one time I really just wanted to pretend play like I'm a goddess or a fairy, and I would just put a white blanket over my head or like over my shoulder to like just pretend I'm flying, you know? And at that time, I didn't know that in Chinese culture, if you put anything white on your head, that is kind of the representation of somebody dies in your house. It's a way to pay respect to the person who passed away. And honestly, as a little kid, I had no idea that was kind of the culture. I didn't know. I was just playing. I remember I was having fun being a little child, you know. My dad would walk into the room and he would be so angry with me and said, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? Am I dead?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, and then he would continue to say, "You wish me to be dead? You want me to be dead? Is that why you put all this white blanket on you?" And I'm just like, "What?" Like, and these are just little tiny example of like things I actually didn't do wrong, but I was being completely misunderstood for just being me, just playing. If you have similar experience where maybe you were doing things out of intention of wanting to show love to your parents and it was not received the way that you wanted, or you were being misunderstood, you were being shamed and blamed, or for whatever reason, and you were hurt because you gave love, yet what you received back was not what you expected. I want to let you know it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Now looking back at my dad's reaction to me just being me, having fun, being a child, was he was not seeing me. He was seeing his own wounds. He grew up with a very abusive dad who made him feel like he was nothing. Who disowned him, his dad literally picked him up and threw him on the wall and said, "You're not my son. I don't have a son like you." And growing up, he was bullied. And that's all he saw in his life. That's all he experienced. That's all he remembered. That's the wound that he had been carrying. So instead of seeing me as the child who was just having fun, he was seeing the wound that he was carrying, that everyone is out to get him. Nobody likes him. Nobody loves him. Everybody just wants to attack him. That has always been the mentality that he carried within him as a protective mechanism. He had to carry that in order to keep himself safe, so that even when he has to almost like make sure his guard is always up, so that he can be prepared anytime when someone is there to attack him, even though no one was there to attack him. If your caregiver or your parents make comments about, "Oh, you're not skinny enough, why are you so ugly," or like, "How come everybody is this way and you're not that?" I can guarantee you that they do this to themselves millions and millions and millions of times in their head. And it's like whatever, it's almost like, imagine this. When you're an orange, when you squeeze orange, all you can squeeze out is orange juice. You won't be able to squeeze out apple juice because you're orange. That's what's going on. Imagine all the negativities that they have with internally inside the mind is the orange juice. That they are the negative orange juice. That when you do certain things, that even though you're just being you, you don't mean to offend them in any way, shape, or form. They just get triggered. Like my dad, he gets triggered, and when he gets pressed, what squeezes out is the negative orange juice. There's nothing else that can come out of it. It won't be a positive apple juice. It just won't. And I know what it's like, that when you feel so wounded and hurt by certain things that our caregivers did or said, that we just want them to hear us, to see how wounded we are. We want them to love us the way that we never got to be loved. But like I said, if they inside and out are that orange juice, no matter what they say or do, even if they're being there for you, doing the best that they can to be there for you the way you wanted, what comes out most likely will still be the orange juice. I believe that for some of us, our parents' job are actually not there to love us the way we wanted or needed to be loved, but to love us the way that we don't want to be loved, so that we can start giving ourselves the kind of love that we truly want. Sometimes those steps may feel hard, but it's actually very simple. And if you watch this far, feel free to check out the People Pleaser Archetype quiz that I have in my link in the bio. It's not just a quiz, it's actually a journal guide that help you realize what are some of the characteristic trait or survival behaviors that you have, or it unconsciously sneak into your life, because only when you become aware of it, that's when you are able to change it. And once you become aware of that, there are actually guided journal prompts and little tiny action steps that you can do in your day-to-day life based on your childhood experiences and wounds that you still carry. And you can start make tiny changes from there. And you would like further help, I'm actually thinking about creating a community, a free community, to invite people, like-minded people who need this kind of support and connection. And if it's something that you're interested, comment in this comment section and say, I'm in. And maybe I'll really create that.